need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. I'm just here to remind you, but never mommy, man. I'm here to remind you where you come from. All this peace retreat is lame done. You can never get rid of me. I live in you. Both of our fire offend you.
Seen the best of them,
all right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Now he'll escape to his left. And incomplete to open things up. These two teams had not one but two memorable encounters a year ago. Their first one was Week 5. That's when Ben Roethlisberger threw a handful of interceptions. Jacksonville won big. And then, of course, the Jags, Charles, they doubled down in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh again in Pittsburgh, 45-42, to advance to their third AFC Championship game in franchise history. I like what you did there. A handful. 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing. Dancing to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Play action now. Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And they'll go on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Over here.
Right back to him on 1st down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Here's Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here you go, 368.
Dalton here from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Richardson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Here you go, 368. Sorry.
Dalton off play action. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because Once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's a tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to run with Freeman. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Freeman. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the 2nd quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Play fake. Here's Prescott. This will be caught inside the 10. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Let's go, get up, get up.
They'll try to run with Carson, pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Dalton sets up play action. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Prescott to throw it. Now he's flushed out left. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
368.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
368! 368!
Play action here with Dalton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Josh Jackson. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
46.
Prescott off play action. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll run with a rookie. It's Boston Scott. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Now Scott. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
46.
Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. And this will not be returned. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They go again with Scott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Dalton, 1st and 10. He's going to let one fly for Tate, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football contest.
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 49 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's. And that's exactly what they did there.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Scott. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd down, Dalton. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Taking it about the 16. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Second down, Dalton. Eluding the pressure right. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 37. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Off the play fake, Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And the Steelers on third down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is third down and 12. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he's going to lose yardage here back. To the 14-yard line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Flacco looking for his first toss. Now he's going to let it go deep. Back over into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
It's coming now.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Second and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. He'll get it up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They'll try and run with Freeman. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Second down, Flacco now. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long for Joe Flacco. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. One of the longest punts in the last decade or so, 80-plus yards. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. Prescott from the gun. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big run there by Freeman, 43 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now it's Carson trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Taylor Gabriel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go, get out.
Prescott now from the 50. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Here's Carson, and he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Prescott down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. That one goes for 24 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Flacco off play action. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go. Fourth down, fourth quarter. Flacco. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Flacco now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Operating off play action. Flacco. And this will be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Once more, it's Flacco. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes. Get out of there.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Here you go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain.